Have you ever been through something so painful you just stopped and asked, "Where is God in this?" Maybe it was a loss, a diagnosis, a betrayal, or maybe it wasn't your pain, but someone else's. A child's suffering, a natural disaster, a war. And you found yourself whispering the hardest question of all. If God is loving, why would He allow this? Let's talk about it, and not to throw answers at you, but to sit in the ache and search together. Let me tell you a story. When I was younger, someone I loved got really sick. We prayed a lot. We hoped a lot. And still, we lost them. I remember standing at the funeral, watching everyone trying to hold it together, and just thinking, God, where were you? And maybe you felt that too. Maybe you're feeling it right now. If that's you, hear this. You're not alone. In this video, it's not about fixing the pain. It's about being honest about it. So, where is God in our suffering? Let's walk through this layer by layer. First, the Bible never promises that God's love means a life without pain. In fact, it promises the opposite, because at the center of the Christian story is a God who suffers. Jesus wept. He was misunderstood, abandoned. He was betrayed by a friend, and then crucified by the very people He came to love. And in His darkest hour, He cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He didn't avoid pain. He walked straight into it. So when you hurt, He's not far off in the clouds. He's been there. He's with you. Second, God gave us something powerful, something beautiful, free will, and that means we can choose to love, to forgive, to create, to heal. But that same freedom also gives us the ability to hurt, to betray, to destroy, because real love has to be free. It can't be forced. And that freedom, it's brought both the greatest beauty in the world and some of its deepest pain. Not because God wants it that way, but because He refuses to control us like puppets. Love only means something when it's chosen. Third, and here's the part no one likes to say out loud, pain can shape us. It's never welcomed, but sometimes it becomes the very thing that breaks us open in the best way. Pain can soften us, build empathy, strip away ego, and in some mysterious, sacred way, it can wake us up to something bigger than ourselves. For some, suffering becomes the doorway to finding a deeper kind of faith, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. But let's be clear, none of this makes it easy, or fair, or tidy, and it shouldn't. Faith was never meant to be a shortcut around grief. It's the courage to walk through it with hope. Here's something I've come to believe. We may not always understand why suffering happens, but maybe the more powerful truth is, we're not alone in it. Isaiah chapter 43 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." Not if, when. Pain is part of the human experience, but so is God's presence within that pain. In fact, talk to enough people who've walked through real suffering, and you'll hear something surprising. It was in the pain, not after it, that they met God most clearly. So now I want to ask you, what has pain taught you about life? About God? Have you found something in the dark you couldn't see in the light? If you're open to it, drop a comment below, or just type "still here." Because sometimes just naming the ache is a kind of healing. And if this reflection gave you something to think about, consider sharing it. There's someone else out there asking these same questions, someone who needs to know it's okay to ask. And if you want more quiet faith talks like this, you're invited to subscribe. Not for hype, not for clicks, just for real conversations like this. God is not absent in the suffering. Sometimes He's closest in it. If this gave you something to think about, like and share with someone who needs it.